What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Shabazz. Welcome to the channel. Nattybaps will be joining us shortly. He's coming back from, I think he was doing trivia. He'll explain whatever. Point is, it's week 8. Give me. But before I talk about week 8, you know what I'm saying? I got to talk about the big trade. DeAndre Hopkins got traded to the Chiefs today for, I think, a 5th round pick. That's gonna be a 4th round pick, like additional 4th. So that's honestly, everyone is kind of overreacting a little bit. Everyone is like, "Oh, the Chiefs are now unbeatable." Um, yeah, they pretty good, but Mahomes got to get out of the funk that he's in. He has more interceptions than touchdowns, but they're still winning games led by that defense. And in the 4th quarter, Mahomes making 1 or 2 plays a game that puts them over the top. Now, when you think about this move, though, you're like, oh, it's tough. It's honestly tough. You like Rashee Rice is probably out for a significant amount of time. Hollywood Brown is out for a significant amount of time. He'll probably come back in December. Kelsey has not been doing anything this year. I don't think he even has a touchdown yet. D-Hop, though, he steps in as the number 1 receiver, true number 1, put him outside. And I think Andy Reid is going to be very creative on how to use him. This guy, DeAndre Hopkins, he still got it. Everyone's like, oh, he's 32 years old. He's old. Yeah, but he's a great route runner, and he has great hands. And that talent, along with Mahomes, along with Andy Reid coaching, I think that can really set him up for success with the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think he plays this week, but definitely next week and after that, I definitely see a scenario where he can definitely be the difference maker for the Chiefs. They always make 1 or 2 moves around this time by the trade deadline to try to put them over the top, try to make them the best team possible. And B-Hop being there now allows that opportunity for the Chiefs to try to contend for that repeat. And without further ado, Nattybaps.
Oh, shit.
You come from trivia zone?
Bro, we were perfect. Bro, we were when I left, we were 13-0 in terms of no mistakes. So hopefully my team held it down. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Nattybaps. Man, before peek behind the curtain, you ever have you chilling and then all of a sudden you almost near your crib and your bladder connects to the toilet? Oh. So I'm sorry I'm late, ladies and gentlemen. Try not to make that happen. Shabazz, you're talking about the D-Hop trade, I assume.
Yeah, I was.
So yeah, my quick thoughts. AFC, man, how do you guys let this happen again? Oh, the Chiefs need a receiver. The draft, the Bills trade their pick with them, and then they get Xavier Worthy, speed demon. Oh, halfway through the season, Rashee Rice is out for an extended period of time. Oh, an old, wide veteran who needs a new change of scenery. Oh, let's go get D-Hop. So it's I know the Titans are selling. I know the Titans aren't going to do anything, but it's why? But for D-Hop purposes, love the situation. He finally has a competent quarterback since his days of Arizona, and hopefully he makes it happen. Obviously, I don't want the Chiefs to win a Super Bowl again, but for those who those guys who never get a ring or never have a chance to get a ring, like a Julio Jones type beat, D-Hop is fantastic and he's a Hall of Fame talent. He just never had the recognition from a lot of the mainstream media. Football heads know who he is and how good he is. So that's why people were damn, Kansas City acquiring Infinity Stones. He was the second domino or the third domino to fall. I think as we get close to the trade deadline in a couple of weeks, a lot more of those type of guys are going to be traded, especially specifically on the defensive side of the ball. Chris Broussard talked about, hey, the Ravens should trade for what's his name? He was on your team last year. He's not in there. He's on the Panthers now.
Jadeveon Clowney.
Jadeveon Clowney for a pass rush type. So I think teams that know they're going to be bad, like the Titans, they know they're going to be bad. So Jeffrey Simmons, be on the lookout for a trade for him to be gone to go to a contender. But anyway, That's the news of the day. This is all speculation. We got games to break down and preview, starting with Thursday night football. Vikings just took a L to the Detroit Lions in a shootout versus the Rams, who are getting Cooper Cup back, who was limited in practice yesterday and today. So Cooper Cup's coming back. Matthew Stafford's there. Kyron Williams is there. Rams are only underdogs by 3. Now you would think, oh, Vikings are 5-1. They're a great team. I'm not saying not so fast, my friends. I think don't. It's something talked about it last night. The Lions beat people down, and it's kind of like the Steelers of old, where it's like the AFC North. Every time the Ravens play the Steelers, like they would lose the next week because you just be physically worn out playing against those teams. Similarly, the Detroit Lions beat people down, and the teams don't tend to show up as ready to go the week after. Hell, let's look back to the season. Seahawks, Monday Night Football, they lose to Detroit. Then what happened? The Giants of all teams ran the ball down their throats. So I think that because I call it a hunch. I think the Rams get it. I think the Rams sneak one off of the Vikings in a pretty good game. I got the Rams +3. I think the Rams outright win because I just think that the Vikings on a short week too. Like, if you play a Lions team, I'm giving all the credit to Detroit. Even if they want to lose, they like you lose like you like scratching and clawing or trying to get a win that week after, especially 4 days rest. Yeah, I got the Rams winning.
I disagree. I got Minnesota -3. I just think they're the better team. Now, your point about the Detroit Lion factor, I think that used to be the 49ers a couple years ago. It used to be the Ravens a couple years ago, like when like Greg Roman was you play the Ravens, you typically look on the Brown like AFC North teams that you play them and then you lose the next week because they're so physical, right? Detroit, that physical brand of football that they play. And Nick Wright said it too. He's like, yo, if you lose to the Lions, you lose kind of twice. Like if you play the Lions, you lose twice. Like you lose you lose the following week because literally if you play the Lions, you literally lose the next week. That's like documented. And then the Vikings lost, so that's a double loss. I think the fact that they were at home, so they had some more rest. And they played at 1 o'clock, so it's not like they played Sunday night and then they played so they had ample rest compared to the Rams. The Rams, they just don't have the talent to keep up. I think the Lions have a top 3 offense, maybe not the best offense in the game. So it's hard to chat like that chess match that Brian Flores was playing with Ben Johnson. They really was saying like it was literally like down the middle, eye for an eye, like pretty much. I think the Rams are not on that level. Now, if they have Puka and Cooper Cup coming back, maybe you can have an argument because you got Kyron, you got that's a great offense with that. But we're only Cooper Cup coming back in his first game back, who is on the trade block. It's public knowledge. Who knows how well he plays? Not to say he's going to tamper himself, but who say I might not go 100% on every single route, But I do think Matthew Stafford force feed him the ball. So 100 yards for him, I can see that happening. But give me the Vikings. I think their offense is better than the Rams' defense, and then the defense is better than the Rams' offense. So everything you said is 100% valid. I just think at the end, the Vikings catch the dub. Cardinals, Rams. What?
Cardinals, Rams. I apologize. It's Cardinals, Dolphins. I did
Oh,
this post snap, so I apologize.
it's cool. Cardinals go to Miami after playing Monday night at 1 o'clock. So the West Coast team going East Coast. But it's not like a Seattle to like New York thing. It's more like it's a straight line because they're both they're both on the south side of the country. So it's like, yeah, Arizona is probably like a 3-hour flight to Miami. So it's not that bad in comparison from them going from let's say from Arizona to New York. That's a further trip. Tua's coming back. I think that factor, them being at home, him being the key, the master key for this offense. Tyreek even said today, "Yo, if you got me on fantasy, like start me." That means he's planning on doing something amazing. And with all those factors, and plus Arizona's very, very much inconsistent. They're very much should have lost that game to the Chargers, but they were inept offensively in the red zone. They had a freaking fumble that with a touchback, that bum ass rule. So a lot of those shits happen all the time. But when it happens, when you're trying to drive a big play and all that momentum, shit like that, the Cardinals are not a good team. Dolphins aren't a good team either, but I think Tua does something for this offense that I'm hoping that he just don't try to slide, don't try to run, throw the ball out. So praying for his safety first and foremost. Glad he's back. Glad he's able to be like he got over the concussion woes. And let's see him and Tyreek and Wilder go for like 30, 40 points. That's what I want to see. So let's go Miami. I didn't put that. I think I only put like $1 on it because only off chance like he ain't play in like 6 weeks. So the rust is definitely gonna be there. But I'm hoping that I'm a more outward thinker. Like like Miami definitely gonna unlock everything because Achan's coming back as well. So like, the offense itself.
Was back last week. He was back last week.
Okay, so
Sorry.
the main thing is Tua. Fuck you, Nacho.
I'm sorry. I agree. I think the Miami Dolphins win this game. Your point about rust is fair, but it's not like it was a body injury. It wasn't like it wasn't his throwing shoulder. It wasn't a leg. It was his mind. Right now, before the concussion for the first 6 quarters of the season, he wasn't really that good. He was okay. Right, the second half against the Jaguars, he was fantastic. And in the first half against the Bills on Thursday Night Football, he was bad, right? So he was chasing, trying to make it happen. Coming back, fully healthy. He said he's not wearing a Guardian cap, but I take his word for it. If he's healthy, feels always good, he's good. And it's crazy how long the NFL season was. It's almost Halloween. It's like that happened week 2, right? That injury happened week 2, and he's now coming back, right? So, like, I genuinely think that the Dolphins, they just needed him to unlock this offense. Again, they can go on a better of a heater and see what happens. And your point about the Cardinals being a bad team, I agree. I think Kyler Murray will make some plays with his legs because that's what he's done for the last couple of weeks. But damn, like without Marvin, like they're just not a good team. And the Cardinals,
Wait, Marvin Harrison played, no?
yeah, he did play, but it's like there's something off with that offense. It's just, you would think they would have a fantastic offense with Kyler, Marvin Harrison, Trey McBride, James Conner, but they don't. Something's off with them. Last point, the Chargers, Justin Herbert played damn near a perfect game. 350 yards, only had like 5 incompletions or 6 incompletions, whatever. But then again, they didn't score a touchdown. So that's the red zone ineptitude for the Chargers. It's not really saying anything bad for the Cardinals. So I got the Dolphins winning. Simple as that. I think Tua comes back and leads this team to a victory. Oof. Ugly game. Jets, Patriots. Patriots are underdogs by 7. I think that's too much. I think that because I just don't trust Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams to win by more than 7 points. They can probably win. I think this game is going to be close and ugly. I'm tempting to bet the under at 41.5, but I'm going to just strictly stick with the Patriots plus 7. I think they can fly outright win. They played Thursday Night Football a couple weeks ago, and it was Jacoby Brissett. And Drake May, and we both can agree, Drake May is much better than Jacoby Brissett. Like, it's not.
Huh? He gonna let that bitch fly.
He's gonna let it fly. He's gonna let that bitch fly. And that secondary for the Jets, yes, Sauce Gardner is good, but they got cooked by Russell Wilson. Now, I'm not saying Drake May is Russell Wilson. I'm not saying that. So don't go clickbaity, ladies and gentlemen. But I think Drake May will let that bitch fly and let that bitch sing, and we'll see what happens. I think the Patriots can outright win, but I'm going with plus 7.
I put no money in this game, but I do think the Jets win. Now is it a blowout like Thursday night, 24-10, or is it more of a controlled like 21-17, 21-14 kind of game? Can the Jets score? Is the main question. I do think the Patriots defense is solid. Um, but at the same time, Brees Hall is finding his footing. It's back to back weeks where like he's been doing his shit. So I think in Sauce Gardner really needs to step up. Like the attention is rightfully so on Aaron Rodgers because like the fan base is like he's like a godsend to them. So and it's like all the problem that they're having is on the offensive side. But you let Russ in his first game in pretty much a year because he had gotten benched in Denver. So like he hasn't played in that like from when he got benched to whenever it ended, he hasn't played. So it's like you let him cook you, like you specifically, like George Pickens. They like every time they had you as a matchup, they pursued you. If you're one of the top 5 corners in the game, you do not like when they're purposely targeting you because you're a favorable matchup. That's not a good sign. Now, am I diminishing his greatness? No, I'm not. Do I think Patrick Surtain is better than you? I definitely do. But I need you to like put up or shut up at this point. Like the defense was not the problem, and now it is a problem. So, young man, you need to step up. You need to lock in for sure. And obviously, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae, they aren't going to single handedly win you the game. But the only corner I'm concerned about is on Patriots is Christian Gonzalez.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's guarding Devontae, Garrett Wilson, this is a chance at redemption. Because the two picks that Aaron Rodgers threw, one was underthrown but towards you, and then the other one bobbled off the chest. So this is a huge chance at redeeming yourself, and I expect Brees Hall to score a touchdown. I think at the end the Patriots do not they can't compete yet. Now this game got it was originally a 4 o'clock game, would have been game of the week, but it got flexed out to the 1 o'clock slate. Low key, this could have been. I'm lying. This could not have been Sunday night. I'm looking at Sunday night. I was like, this is a great game though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna be Bengals suck. Nah, offensively, the Bengals are elite. They are a little bit on a dry spell right now. Like they went from scoring 30 a game, being like the Saints of old, where they had to score points in order to win, to now they're kind of relying on their defense. Then, granted, we talked about it yesterday. They played the Giants at MetLife, specifically at MetLife, and they played the Browns with 2 quarterbacks going down, and they only scored 14. The 21 was off a first play kickoff return for a touchdown. So in that whole 60 minutes, you only scored twice. Eagles, they're rolling high. Defensively, they got some momentum. Offensively, they figuring out what they are. I agree with you 100% from yesterday. Like Saquon, if you get him going early, then you could set up everything else. So give me Philly to upset. I mean, it's 1.5. It's not really much of an upset. But I got Eagles money line straight up. I think they can win this game, and it'll probably be dip and tuck at the end. But they have a good kicker in Jake Elliott. They have good running game with Saquon and Jalen Hurts, and their two number one receivers in Devontae and AJ Brown is right on par with Jamar and T Higgins. So I think at the end, Chase Brown and Zach Morris, they're not gonna be able to get it done. And Jalen Carter surprisingly is having a good season, good year too. I think he continues that momentum and he completely wrecks the trash offensive line of the Bengals. And give me the Eagles.
Hey man, yo, you speaking the gospel, man. I fully agree. I fully agree. Would I be surprised? I bet the over at
Oh
40,
yeah, for sure, for
I bet
sure, for sure.
over 47 and a half. I genuinely believe that both secondaries can get exploited. Now, what happened? Oh, the Giants only scored 3 points. Daniel Jones can't throw the ball down the field. We already established that, right? So, but the Bengals can, right? Like they had moments. Now, Cleveland's defense is underrated, but that's neither here nor there. I think this game goes over. Everything you said is perfectly valid. Shout out to Mrs. Buttersworth. Um, we eating pancakes right now
Yeah, man.
at 8:50.
Yeah, man.
Hey man, say amen, say man.
Breakfast for dinner, man.
Hey, it must be
Shout out
nice.
baby girl, man. Shout out baby girl.
It must be nice. But no, regardless of everything you said is valid. I totally agree. If I had to pick a winner, I think the Eagles do win this game outright. Jags at the Packers at Jacksonville coming from London. They spent 2 weeks there. They didn't take their bye week. No teams are on a bye this week. 16 game slate. Jags are at home 4.5. The Jags secondary is so buns. It's so trash. And I think Jordan Love's gonna have a field day, but he got that Brett Favre in him. He got that Green Goblin mask, like throw it into triple coverage type shit. Call it, one because I need these teams to start losing so the NFC can get muddled. Upset alert. I think because the Packers, and here's the main reason I'm going with Jacksonville plus 4.5. The main reason why is that Packers don't blow teams out. Yeah, they beat the Cardinals a couple weeks ago, but last week they scraped the teeth, right? And then they lost to Eagles. They've lost, like they've beaten teams. I bet the over for sure. And I might sprinkle in the Jags money line. My biggest concern for the Packers is that they let Joe Mixon go bananas. They cannot stop the run. And the Jags, they might have found something in London. They're like, yo, all right, bet. Our pass game is a little questionable. Brian Thomas is awesome, and so is Evan Ingram. But let's run the ball with Tank Bigsby and set up play action. A quarterback's best friend is a fantastic running game. And I think the Jags might have unlocked something in London. So I'm as much shit as I've given Trevor Lawrence and as much trash as I've given the Jags as an organization. I think they found something in Tank Bigsby, and I think that they run the ball down the Packers' throats and win this game. I got them winning, and I also got the over as well because the Packers will score because the Jags secondary is trash. The strength against weakness. Packers offense against the Jags defense. Give me the Packers offense. But the Jags offense against the Packers run defense specifically, I like the Jags. So I like the over, but I also think the Jags can cover and outright win.
Man, give me the Packers, man. You did a whole lot of nothing just now. You did a whole lot.
Oh, now I did a whole lot of nothing. Okay.
I got the 4.5. I think it's honestly a blowout. I think that now your point is valid about the Packers run defense. Your point is also valid about you didn't mention this, but we seen weird shit happen in Jacksonville. That's like the Bermuda Triangle of the NFL. Like weird shit happens where like you're a team that's full of yourself. You beat like Packers beat a dominant team in Houston. Like they're feeling themselves, and you go to Jacksonville and it's like, oh shit, like that was going on. Now I think the Packers win. That pass defense is going to get exploited. I think. Like they're all like Tucker Craft, Romeo Dobbs. Like I think it's going to be very high scoring. I think Jordan Love definitely throws like 3 or 4 of them things, and I think at the end it's going to be too much because again, the league leader in interceptions is Xavier McKinney. He gets one off for Trevor Lawrence. And I think this kind of puts the nail in the coffin for Jacksonville. Not the nail in the coffin, but it definitely is a slippery slope. It's definitely going to be a hard challenge for them to come back from 2-6. So give me the Packers to win. Falcons and Bucks again. I'm putting no money in this game because of one. I honestly don't care who wins, so there's no stake involved. Two, if you're Atlanta, the vibes aren't great because you just got smoked at home. If you're Tampa Bay, you just got smoked at home. Plus, two, the injury bug is killing y'all. Then Baker, as well as you played, quote unquote, I'll put air quotes on there. It's like if you could have been like, nah, we're not gonna play. Like it's okay. Like the vibes in Tampa is not the best right now. But if I had to pick a winner, I'd still say Tampa because their defense is definitely being able to, because like they'll find a way. Like like K. Dotton, he arrived. It took him some time, but he finally arrived, and they got Bucky Irvin. They have a good, strong running game. So Kirk Cousins is on a decline, so I got to see him ascend again. So give me the Bucks, I guess.
I got nobody. I hope this game ends in both teams, just taking an L. It can't happen, obviously. Both teams the same record. For Saints purposes, I actually want the Bucks to win because I think that Atlanta can get hot. All of the vibes of Tampa Bay right now is not great because again, Mike Evans is out for until like a week 11. Chris Godwin's out for the unseeable future. Prayers up for him. Both teams cannot stop the other. So I think the over cashes again. And I think that I don't know. Again, I don't trust Atlanta. I don't trust Tampa. My only bet in this game is the over. I know it. Oh, you gotta pick a team to win. No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't got to. I hope both teams like lose. So,
You just
if I,
provide analysis for the game, John.
huh? Again, like, this game right here is one of the only games I'm not really gonna provide analysis for because again, I hope both teams lose. Both teams are inconsistent. They both can't stop the other.
Mm-hmm.
Falcons' run game is inconsistent. Bijan don't have a great moment, and then they stop feeding him the ball for some reason. And for the Bucks, again, outside of the Saints game, they can't run the ball, and they have Baker Mayfield throwing the ball too much. Now, who's he going to throw it to? That's going to be the big question because again, Chris Godwin's out, Mike Evans is out. So in that case, I'll go Atlanta. I'll lean Atlanta to win because I know they have at least options available. But I'm not betting this game. If I do make a bet, it's the over. Ravens Browns. Jameis, Jameis eating Dubs, Winston starting, baby. Obviously, I'm going Baltimore money line. I'm not going to touch the spread in this game. Ravens are one of my locks of the week. Can't pick them in Survivor. Actually, I can, but I'm not going to because I try to avoid road teams, especially in the division. I think Jameis gonna let that bitch fly like Drake May. He got you talk about Jordan Love having that Brett Favre. Jordan Jameis Winston got his own. I think that just because genuinely and because you are my brother, I'm gonna pick the Ravens. But if you were not my brother, I would sprinkle in Browns money line. And the only reason why is because, hey, when a quarterback comes in who hasn't played forever, or everyone's like, why wasn't Jameis starting? And then boom, he leads a great game. Everyone's, oh my God, we got our guy again. And then later down the line, that's the law of diminishing returns. And then he goes back to being, okay, that's why Jameis isn't starting. But for one game against a suspect Ravens secondary, I mean, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be shocked if the Browns covered. I wouldn't be shocked if the Browns won. But they don't got the firepower to keep up with Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Rashawn Bateman. Mark Andrews has finally found his groove again, getting at least he's not getting as many yards, but he's getting targeted and getting catches and getting touchdowns. So again, great for fantasy purposes. I think the Ravens win outright. That 9.5 is such a scary number. I'll try to avoid it. But because it's my guy Winston, Jameis, I'm betting the over, baby. I'm betting the over. I think y'all going to not a shootout. I think y'all get up early, just like on Monday night, and then the Browns are gonna have some good moments and try to come back, and they come up short. So I think the Browns cover, Ravens win outright, and the over cashes as well.
I'm trying to find the right words to say. You know what the fuck going on, man? Ravens flock. You know what to do, man. Hold on one second.
Also, my trivia team, we won. So I don't know if we finished perfect or not. I just asked them, but we got first place, baby.
You're afraid. What, you got win money?
It's like it's mainly for pride, but we get like a gift card to the bar or the brewery that we was at. And
Okay.
it's 50 cash.
Oh, all
So
right. All right, but my analysis of the game is simple, right? Not people were asking me, but I was like, all right, come on now, we're gonna win. But then I always mention, hey, your AFC North divisional games are very difficult to win. Like you do not blow out the other team. Like that definitely does not happen. So if you're a betting person, you could say definitely the Browns 9.5. Our run defense is solid. Monday night being the exception and hopefully not the norm. Um, Jameis is gonna let that bitch fly, 100%. I just think that like we're grooving right now, offensively. Like we're clicking on all cylinders. I think Derrick Henry literally needs like 100 and something yards, like a buck 20 something to get to 1,000. So him to getting 1,000 yards in 8 games, like that would be like amazing. Um, I don't think the Browns can stop the run. I do think they can stop the pass. But Lamar Jackson, like I have to look it up, but he plays pretty well against the Browns. Lamar Jackson versus the Browns. If I can find it. I don't want the stat news. Here we go. I don't care about. First, I can't find it. But regardless, I think he plays well against the Browns. Mark Andrews plays well, extremely well against the Browns. He continues to get into the end zone, so I'm looking for Mark Andrews to score. I'm looking for Derrick Henry to continue the scoring streak. And I just think we pull it out, man. We honestly, it's going to be a hard fought game, but I think at the end we pop out, show certified boogeyman. We the ones that score, and I think we just catch the dub and go on to 6-2, uh, 2 divisional wins, firm lead in the AFC North. Yeah, so there you go. Colts and Texans. It's odd.
That's ugly.
I'm going with Houston. Now, do they cover? Because the last time they played, it was close. Week 1, but everyone was fresh. JT was playing, all that. JT, I don't know, is he questionable? I don't know if he's still on IR. Like,
That's a good question. Let me find out.
I don't know. Houston needs this win badly because of the way they lost, and CJ needs a bounce back because of how he played last week. Now, Colts can't stop the run, so I expect Joe Mixon to do another Joe Mixon game against them. Having him as an anytime touchdown scorer is definitely valid as well.
He returned to practice. Jonathan Taylor did.
Oh, so will he play? I don't know. We'll see.
Question.
That's a great question. So I don't know. I'm going with Houston though because 1, they needed more, and 2, their star players have to step up. CJ, we gave you a lot. We gave you some shit. We definitely chewed into you yesterday. But I think that was more motivation from us and more of like it came from a place of heart, like a place of love. Like you need to play better. You know you need to play better, and I think you will. So give me Houston. Maybe they blow them out. That 5.5 is juicy, but at the end, I just want them to win.
I got no real analysis for this game. I might actually call the upset if Jonathan Taylor plays because I think that the Texans' run defense is sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Jacobs had a great game last week. Again, it's the Packers' offense notwithstanding. It's just the vibes are just inconsistent for Houston right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm rooting for the Colts because I live in Indianapolis, but logically speaking, the Texans should defend home turf. I don't know how is Nico Collins? Is he still out for a while or?
He's on IR. So.
Oh yeah, he's on IR. So yeah, but like Laramie Tunsil was on. He practiced limited today, so they might get a boost on their offensive line. CJ Stroud got hit a lot last week, so it's one of those things too. Can the Colts generate any type of pass rush? And also, last but not least, obviously the horse in the room, Anthony Richardson. I don't think I can bet money on Anthony Richardson because he can't throw. He can't throw the ball. There's different between like, oh, Cam Newton's super freakishly athletic. and he can throw the ball 60 yards down the field on a rope. But accuracy was Cam Newton's strength. He was accurate. Lamar Jackson, early part of his career, well, not so much, but got better and better and more accurate and accurate. I'm not saying Anthony Richardson is a bust yet, but so far his small sample size, he'd be throwing the distance between me and my bathroom, and he can't do it. He genuinely can't. He's one of the type of guys, and I think we mentioned it yesterday, to have, again, he'll have like 8 completions for 200 some yards, but he'll throw the ball like 30 times. It's all or nothing for him. And I don't think that's going to work against the Texans team. I got the Texans minus 5.5. Sprinkle the over because I think he makes some plays. Titans, Lions. Lions are going to win.
Lions going.
There's not much I can say. I might not bet this 10.5 because that's a lot. But in terms of parlays, Lions are going to be a lot of them. I think they run the ball down the Titans' throat. I think they get in, they get out with a win. They don't try to make anything funny. I think that the Lions are just, I think they are the cream of the crop of the NFC right now. And they got the Packers next week. So I think this is not going to be a look ahead spot. I think Dan Campbell has these boys locked in. I think they show up, show out, make it happen, beat the team down so that they can put all their attention on the Green Bay Packers. So I got the Lions to probably win by 14, but I got the over for sure. I think they're just going to keep going. And also, Jameson Williams, bro, he got 2-game suspension for PEDs. Apparently, it was Viagra. I don't know. Don't know why you need Viagra at 24 years old, but I digress. Got the Lions to win, man.
Man, Vine's going to win. The question is how much. I don't know. Montgomery's injured, definitely hampers them a little bit, but they'll be okay. But now this is the moment where Jared Goff, all right, you're in those talks now. You're in those MVP talks. What can you do to sustain the level of success that you've had this whole season? If you go out to lose to Houston, who just traded D-Hop, what does that say about you? Now, 10.5 is a lot. I definitely wouldn't touch this game. I think I did an adjusted spread. When I put my notes here, I had adjusted to 3.5. Because they definitely win by more than that, but we'll see. We shall see. Now
start a 4 o'clock slate. There's 8 games in the 1 o'clock and 5 in the 4 o'clock. So it's actually a pretty spaced out.
Double witch now. We love it. Saints at Chargers 7.5. Chargers off a short week. They didn't travel much. Arizona is like a couple of hours driving, so right there. Give me the Saints plus 7.5, of course. Now, do y'all win? I don't know. I do think y'all cover because that 7.5, that's a faulty 7.5. Like we know the Saints on a huge slide right now, but 7.5 for a team that offensively is inept with Greg Roman as their offensive coordinator. Again, keep on throwing shots at Greg Roman because that's why everyone was saying Lamar can't throw. Because Greg could look at our competent offensive coordinator, Todd Monken, you see the level of growth in Lamar Jackson's game. And you're seeing a decline in the Chargers. Saying it out there. I don't think, weapons-wise, the Chargers don't have much. Like, Lab McConkey that's the number one receiver. Quentin Johnson's cool, I guess, but he's still young. J.K. Dobbins, they could definitely run the ball. So that's the avenue in which they try to speed up the game with the run game. If you guys can key on that and play vintage Saints defense against the run, who historically you have guys have been excellent against the run, like if you guys lock in on that part, it makes it so much harder for Justin Herbert to do that play action and the check downs and the carve you guys up in that regard.
Len McConkey didn't practice today.
That's a good note. Now the tricky thing is that we do these on Wednesday, so we know the Wednesday practice report, but from Thursday to Friday walkthroughs and Sunday, like they're questionable out or not, like There's one game here where it's like, does the starting quarterback play? Jaden Daniels. We're talking about this later. Does he play? Does he not? We don't know. So we're talking about this Wednesday, but Sunday is 4 days away. He might just say, fuck it, I'm playing. But whatever. But back to the Saints game. The Saints, they have to lock in offensively. Olave coming back, huge help. Taysom Hill coming back, huge help. AK, we just find out he was playing with a broken hand all season. If that doesn't motivate the team itself, that your franchise player, like your best player, is playing with a broken hand and still is trying to go out to be the best he can be for the team, like the slide, the loser streak has to end. It has to end. It has to end. So give me the Saints to cover the spread. And I'm hoping that the Chargers, if y'all, hoping the Saints could win. By my money is on the Saints to 7.5.
Hey man, fuck all that, man. Saints winning, man. Look, bro. Like most of the time, our injury report looks like, damn, like everybody's out or didn't practice. But we got guys coming back who haven't played in a while. Chris Olave, his concussion, he was at practice today. Taysom Hill with his rib injury, he was in practice today. Pete Warner, a great linebacker for us, he was in practice today. Cesar Ruiz, our offensive linemen are coming back. Like we got guys who like that 10 days. We had 3 games in like 11 days. Like that's a brutal schedule. Going to Kansas City, hosting a Bucks team that has like a pretty solid team as a whole, and then the Broncos who have an underrated defense. That's 3 tough games back to back to back. Like now we got a Chargers team whose defense is okay. They can get gashed in the pass game when it comes to the running back. So I expect Kamara to have a big game, especially he just got paid. So we're gonna feed him and show that this contract was worth it. Spencer Rattler, another 10 days to get used to a system. Because again, he came in against the Bucks, great, and then just have 4 days against the Broncos. So having 10 days to rest, get right, practice with guys again. Chris Olave is going to be there, so hopefully he can like lock in with him. Again, I just think we're getting healthier at the right time. The losing streak has to like end, right? We lost 5 straight. The potential is there. The Saints' potential that we saw in the beginning of the season is still there. We just got to get healthy. And I think we're slowly starting to get healthy. On the Chargers side, Lad McConkey, he didn't practice today. Khalil Mack, he rested, but he didn't practice today. The biggest concern for us is the run game. And more defensively, can we stop? J.K. Dobbins is playing out of his mind. He's playing fantastic. Can we stop him from having a good big game? Our secondary, Paulson Adebo's out. But, slide in Alontae Taylor. Our secondary is going to be fine. And Justin Herbert will make plays. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks. He will make plays. I just think we full out win. I'm not saying by 30. I'm not doing anything puffing out my chest. I think we, obviously cover the spread. But hopefully, optimistically, or whatever you want to talk about, I hope we win because I think we can. This is one of the few games of the season where I'm like, if we're going to win, why not be the Chargers team that, yes, Jim Harbaugh is a great coach, but you religiously hate Greg Roman. Like, you hate how bad that offense looks, how they take the ball out of the best players' hands. Oh, Justin Herbert, all Hall of Fame talent. Why is he doesn't have any weapons to throw to? Now, the opposite can happen where we make Quentin Johnson look like Andre Johnson, but who knows? You like that? You like that? That was good. That was good.
Real quick, freaking Nick Wright also mentioned that Marshawn Lattimore might be on the market.
He might be.
That's the case. Yo, Baltimore, man, make the call, man. Make the call. I would love.
He's a full participant in practice today too.
I would love to see Marshawn in the Ravens uniform.
Hey, I would love to see Marshawn get a ring. So go to Baltimore and get a ring, man. Help one of us make it happen, please. Then another 4:00 game. Bills going to Seattle. So an East Coast team going all the way west in the Pacific Northwest. I got the Bills, man. I think that Seattle can't play 2 good games in a row. I think that the Buffalo Bills, no one's talking about them. No one's talking about how good or bad they are. They win games. They're under the radar, and I think that's exactly what the Bills want. Josh Allen doesn't want to be broadcasted as, oh my God, look at the MVP, Josh Allen. No, he wants to go out there, play ball, and keep it pushing. Amari Cooper being added to that team, having another week to actually know the routes, because he may or may not have asked Keon Coleman about what route he was supposed to run, which again he said he did. Keon Coleman was like, oh yeah, like he's like, nah, he didn't ask me that. He is just like, and he said something clever on a press conference about it. I think the Bills win. I think the Bills are a really great team in the AFC, and again, I just don't trust Seattle until they can show that they can win these games. I don't trust Seattle. This is one of the biggest games for Seattle season, because if they are wanting to be on the upper echelon of the NFC or upper echelon in the NFL, you gotta win these games. They had a chance against the Niners a couple weeks ago, blew it. They had a chance, but they beat Falcons, cool. But again, Falcons aren't really a great team. So can they beat a great team at home in a great environment? I don't think so. But I do. If if Shabazz they run the ball with Kenneth Walker, I think they can steal it. But until they show, I don't know who their offensive coordinator is, but until they can show that they're committed to running the ball with Kenneth Walker, I don't think they can do it. I don't think they can beat him. Also, DK Metcalf, he's out.
Yeah.
So JSN, if this is like an underrated guy that you like had in your like you planted a flag rather in his like campaign. If this is the time he gonna show up and show like why you love him so much, this has to be the game. But I got Buffalo Bills -3, man.
Give me Seattle, man. Hey, multiple reasons. One, for love for these other MVP candidates to start losing games. That agenda. MVP 3. Um, but I do think that Seattle is a better team. They're just not consistent. That's the thing. Now, your point of do they play 2 good games back to back? I tell you this, I hope so. Now I'm pretty sure everyone is gonna be riding the Bills because of the Amari Cooper trade, how they look last week against Tennessee. But I think Seattle's a much better team who can put up points just like the Bills can. So if you are a betting person, the over probably is gonna hit. So that's my money with that. But I just have Seattle winning because I think the home juice, and now is the time where you have to put foot on neck in your division because like 49ers lost a game that they honestly shouldn't have lost, but they did. So now you need to get these dubs when you can. And Bills are gonna be extra motivated because they want to put their stake in, hey, we're a top 2 team in the AFC. Fuck Baltimore and fuck Kansas City. So
Amen.
that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. But I do think Seattle wins. If not, just win. I think probably at most, at least cover the spread. At most, win the game. So give me Seattle. Bears Commanders. So when I mentioned earlier about for the fact that we do this, the double-edged side of we do this on Wednesday. The positive side is we get the spreads early. So if they shift in like directions are like much higher, we're like, well, we caught it at this number. We got good value. The bad side is that we don't know the full injury report leading into it. Now, if someone got hurt on like a Sunday night or Sunday game, and like, all right, they can get notified immediately. Oh, they're going in the IR. They had emergency surgery. We know those things, but like Jay Daniels, he hurt his ribs in like the first or second drive of the Commanders. So he was gone the entire game, and he rested up. So we don't know if he's playing or not. If I'm him, I'm not because the Bears defense, fresh off a bye, it's a pretty strong defense. I still say Commanders win, putting no money on, putting no money on it. If Jaden Davis was playing, I'd probably put money on it. But the fact that he's questionable, he probably won't. It doesn't. I'm not as convicted. I'm like, yeah, I'm not as strong and confident in that take. This is more of a fading Caleb, although Caleb has been playing amazing. I kind of want to be vindicated for that. You know what I'm saying? And plus, Marcus Mariota did not play bad. Now he played the Panthers. So there we go. But if the avenues for the Commanders to win, they need Brian Robinson to step up again.
Yep.
They need him to have a strong game and like a veteran, like similar to what the Panthers game showed them, like the veteran leadership that they have, they can definitely step up. This is another avenue for the Commanders to like really like pop out and like, hey, we win this, we're 6-2. But if you lose this year, you're 5-3. Like it's not the end of the world. The main thing is making sure your quarterback of the future is healthy.
That's the message right there.
That's the main thing. So like if you guys win, it's great. But if you guys lose, you could put in a caveat, hey, Jaden didn't play. I think the offense unlocks with Jaden there, and you're 5-3. When no one would have thought you had 5 wins at all. You're 5-3. So get him healthy, get him right. If the Bears win, their defense is going to lead the way for sure. And Caleb, because you can pass on the Commanders' defense, so Caleb goes for 2-something with 3 touchdowns. Then I think the pressure will be on the Commanders to try to keep up, and that's where the Bears defense is going to take advantage. So if you're a betting person, you probably go with Chicago to win. Pretty sure that's what Nasty's going to do because he's a smart person. But my heart, you know what I'm saying? Give me
So,
Commanders.
so one, you said no one thought the Commanders would have 5 wins. Just gonna throw back out my predictions. I had them second in the NFC East.
Okay, everyone except for you.
So all I'm saying is, your boy. Hold on, I think this is. I think it's not. This is an early mid-season
Vindication.
I said Jaden Daniels is him. I knew he was going to be awesome. So boom, cool. I got the Bears -2.5 because of the lingering question: is Jaden Daniels going to play? Even if he does play, you mentioned it. The Bears defense is severely underrated. Everyone's talking about how great Caleb Williams is, rightfully so. Everyone's talking about, oh my God, this Bears offense is looking good and better every week. Cool. But that defense is hellacious. That defense is making sure that that offense has opportunities to improve week in and week out. That's all I really can say. I'm not sleeping on the Commanders. I think that even if Jaden Daniels plays, this has the makings of again battle the top 2 picks of the league. Usually, when you go to a bad team, they suck. Like they usually do. But the Bears, they drafted well and also traded with the Panthers, so they had a good foundation. And the Commanders got rid of their owner, got a new coach, veteran leadership that you keep harping on and actually commending them for that. Bobby Wagner, Frankie Louvu, so on and so forth. Terry McLaurin finally having a guy, right? So they have veteran leadership all over that team. And Dan Quinn, well, yes, the jokes of 28-3 aside, still is a fantastic coach. This game is going to be amazing. I'm going to be driving back from South Bend during this game, during the
Oh,
4
yeah, I
o'clock.
thought you was not driving this weekend because the Saints play at 4 o'clock.
I might drive. I might come back early. I might. Oh, who knows? It's eight games with the 1 o'clock window of rental. Like I don't know. I might watch it. I don't know. Fair enough. Point is, regardless of if I'm watching it or listening to it, I think this game is gonna be awesome. I think this game is gonna be on red zone a lot. I just got the Bears to win. Boom. Panthers Broncos. I'm gonna be super quick. Broncos are gonna destroy the Panthers. Bryce Young is starting again because Andy Dalton got into an accident, a vehicle accident. He's okay. He's alive, obviously, gratefully, but he's still not soon enough to play. Bryce Young's going to get destroyed by this Broncos defense that has more time to rest and get healthier. I think Patrick Surtain plays. I think that he locks down Deontay Johnson, and I just don't trust the Panthers at all. The fact that they got a win this season, kudos to them. But man, like they beat the Raiders, by the way.
Yeah, no, I was like, who the fuck they win?
They beat the Raiders week 3. So, but I think the Broncos take care of business, and this is one of my survivor picks as well. And I'm in a couple of leagues with survivors still alive. This might be the week I pick the Panthers for sure because pick the Broncos because anytime you get a chance to fade Bryce Young, you take it and run with it.
Absolutely. I teased the Broncos down to 3.5, but everything you just said, the vibes are high. Again, another team where like, oh, we're 5-3. Like, whoa, who would have thought? Like after this game they win, so they'll be 5-3. Like who would have thought? So the vibes are great, and Bo Nix still hasn't had that. He had a signature game against the Bucks, but he's kind of overshadowed by what Jaden and Caleb were doing. It's like he's playing pretty solid. He's playing. He's not the reason why they're losing the games, and he's part of the reason that and their underrated defense is why they're winning games. So shout out to the Broncos, man, and another team in the AFC West, Chiefs, Raiders, 9.5. Let's not play dumb. Let's not be dumb.
Yeah.
Heart of hearts, we want the Raiders to win because it's fuck the Chiefs. But obviously, I talked about it in the beginning of the show. They got D Hop. I doubt he plays. If he does, it's probably a little bit. Next week, we'll see him in a high volume, whatever. Like the AFC West against Mahomes is like complete. It's like one sided. Now I think literally the Chiefs' last loss was Christmas Day to this Raiders team.
Mm-hmm.
That was because of turnovers and I think a pick six, a fumble six. Like it was a whole bunch of stuff. It was a Christmas miracle for the Raiders to win that game. If they can get that again, the way Mahomes is playing with interceptions and stuff, that leaves the avenue for the Raiders to win. But let's not be coy. Give me the Chiefs to be 7-0, and even though Mahomes still isn't playing well, they'll put him as an MVP candidate. Like, oh my god! But I did tease it down to 3.5. Yeah,
Everything you said perfectly agree with. I think the Chiefs should win. I think the Chiefs will win. And if you parlayed all those favorites, which are probably one of our parlays of the week, you know, praise like not a decent penny because they're favorites by like minus 400, minus 500, right? Which doesn't really happen in the NFL like that. So the mismatches are crazy. Obviously, I'm rooting for the Raiders to win for pure chaos purposes because what's Nick Wright gonna say? Oh, like we're 6-0, the last undefeated team. We're winning games. Cool. Despite Mahomes, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm about to look it up right now. I believe he leads the league in interceptions,
him and Jordan Love, I think.
passing interceptions. Da-da. Yep, Jordan Love and Mahomes and Gardner Minshew all have 8 interceptions. So, but yeah, and also just throwing this out there, he has more interceptions than picks, than picks, and then touchdowns. Patrick
That's
Mahomes only has 6 touchdowns on the season, and he has 8 interceptions. So now, conversely, Jordan Love has 8 interceptions, yes, but he has 15 touchdowns. So he letting that bitch fly. D Hop going to the Chiefs is a big deal, and I think he still might play. He might get that Amari Cooper type thing. He's a smart guy. He might get simple routes. He might get simple concepts. Oh, like he might get like because I think Shannon Sharp told a story once that he got put in motion, and John Elway will tell him what the route is. Like I think that might happen, or they put D Hop in motion, and Mahomes like post corner or like what he's supposed to do. D Hop smart. He's a Hall of Fame talent, and he's great. So I think he'll be fine. I think he'll play. The Raiders shock the world. I don't think they will, but if they do, won't be disappointed. Then we got Sunday Night Football. Dallas Cowgirls going off their bye week to San Francisco, who is hurt to shit. I think Debo might play. I think he's still sick, though. Ayuk out for the season. Kittle is day-to-day with an ankle injury. And Brock Purdy, we talked about interceptions. He has 7 of them things on the season. So he's not really taking care of the ball either. He doesn't really get the benefit of the doubt because he's not Mahomes. He's not the guys that, everyone's like, oh, it's Mr. Irrelevant. Despite all of that, I don't trust Dallas. I don't trust Dallas in these big games. I don't trust Dallas to win. They've now, to be fair, they've won all their games on the road. So that might just hey, we can't play in front of Dallas because whatever, but all their 3 losses, because they're 3-3 on the season. They got destroyed by the Saints and the Lions, respectively, and then they came back against Baltimore, but it wasn't really close. The Niners can run the ball and want to run the ball against anybody, and the Cowgirls can't stop the run. Michael Parsons, he's still out, and so is Dexter Lawrence. I think the Niners win by 4.5, more than 4.5. And it's one of those, okay, I can go to sleep early on Sunday nights type things.
Give me the 49ers 4.5. The one team that they always play well against is the Cowboys. Historically, especially with this new regime, like because Cowboys can't stop the run and they can't run. You can't run against like the 49ers can't stop the run for real. And Nick Bosa, quiet season so far. Those rookie tackles that they got is gonna go through a little bit of hell on Sunday night. Um, Offensively, I know Jawan Jennings is questionable. If he plays, then I can see Purdy going off. But you got Kittle and Jordan Mason can run the ball. I think he's second in the league in rushing. So like they got the pieces there. Kyle Shanahan is gonna do like his system is pretty a strong system against the bottom feeders in the league. I consider Dallas to be a bottom feeder because they're just plus the vibes aren't really like the vibes aren't there. Troy Aikman is saying that y'all saw like Jerry's talking way too much. Like I'm surprised we haven't heard of Micah podcast in a little bit. Like they talk a lot. They really talk a lot, but they don't really be about anything. So give me the 49ers 4.5, and that leads us to Monday night. I don't know why this is the Monday night, but Steelers are the popular franchise. Giants, I guess, is the popular franchise. I'm putting no money down in this game. Zero money down. I hope the Giants can upset the Steelers because they're in my division. But if you're talking as a real football fan and a real football mind, the Steelers should win this game. One, because they have a top 3 defense. Two, because the Giants are injured. They're getting injured out the ass. Three, Najee Harris has been running like a madman. So if you run the ball as well as they can do, which the Giants can't stop the run, so they can run the ball, sets up Russ for play action. George Pickens could cook the corners of the Giants, and there you go. So give me the Steelers reluctantly. Give me the Steelers to win. I'm again putting zero money down. I'm not touching this game. I might not even watch this game, to be honest with you. I don't even care.
You're gonna watch it because you
A
go.
little bit. We'll play some 2K. I mean, we'll be driving back from Buffalo. We'll probably still be able to catch them late though.
Word. I got the Steelers to win. Saquon went crazy against the Giants last week, and I think Najee's going to go crazy again. Now, I will say this: the Giants' defensive line is fantastic, and the Steelers, last week notwithstanding, aren't great at protecting the quarterback. But I do think Russell Wilson, as much as we harp on him in the past, his deep balls, like throwing the ball 40, 50 yards down the field, are some of the best in the league still. So I think that the secondary for the Giants is middling and just they're not locked in for real. So I got the Steelers to win by 6.5. I think they're covered. And this might be one of the popular survivor picks too. Hopefully, Giants win, so that eliminates a lot of people. But again, logically speaking, with my head, I'm gonna go with the Steelers to win by 6.5. That's it. All 16 games of the Week 8 season. Do you have any parlays for us, Shabazz? You are on a heater. You are on a heater right now.
I am on a little bit of a heater. This game definitely drives me crazy. Fuck Tyrese Halliburton type shit. He's on the ban list so far. I gotta see him get. I have him for a double, bruh. Double. This dude averaged 10 assists. Easy. He got the 10 points, but he has 2 assists. Like, what's going on? But it's basketball. Basketball season's back. For NFL Week 8, I have the following teams. All money line. I'll type it up as I write. Ravens, money line. Packers, money line. Houston, money line. Detroit, money line. Chiefs, money line. Broncos, money line. It's plus 298. 298. I threw $10 on it, so I'm winning. I'm getting the payout is 39. So $10 to win $39. 39.86 to be specific. That is my parlay of the week. All money line, $10 to win 39.06. Ravens, Packers, Houston, Chiefs, Broncos. I was definitely trying to do a teaser, but I was like, no, I don't need to do a teaser. I think this definitely is a good amount right here. This definitely hits. And depending on the basketball things parlay, I might throw another parlay on it. Right now, Pacers is up with 7 seconds left, so they should win. Bucks is scraping the Sixers, and Atlanta got to hold it down in the fourth quarter against the Brooklyn Nets. And if Golden State wins, I turn 469 to $31. So hopefully we in there, you know what I'm saying, to do the 10K challenge again, because again, Tyrese Halliburton can eat a dick.
Damn.
He sold the bag, man. Day two. So
He definitely sold. He definitely sold. I don't think he got 10 points. So yeah, he definitely sold. But I like the parlay, man. He's about the Chiefs wrong, but
I did.
it's okay. Again, I love the parlay. Let's tail it, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to go. What is this? 4 in a row or 5 in a row?
I think I want to say 4 in a row.
We're trying to go 4 in a row. We're trying to go 4 in a row, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're a betting person, obviously wait beforehand. You know, I've gotta say this. You know, if you lose, don't blame us. You know, we trying. All right, we're trying our best out here. Right? But when you win, bless us. You know what to like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. We stream every Tuesday, Wednesday during the football season. Tuesday nights are recaps. Wednesday nights are preview episodes. So join, tell a friend. If you got coworkers who are into football, if you're trying to learn football, you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you're trying to get them into football. If you're just trying to get your friends into football, subscribe, tell a friend. If you wanted to be a part of the show, at Baptiste Bros, at Shabazz, at Nattybaps, you know, hit us up on TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Find us. We're available. If you want to be a part of the show, we're always welcoming. We always want you guys to be a part of us. I'm Nattybaps. That's Shabazz. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend to tell a friend. Live your life in the 4 F's and the V: faith, family, food, football, and
vindication.
see you guys on Tuesday. Be there, 8:30.